Well, thank you and good morning, everyone. As Pascal just said, indeed, we are quite happy to have this chance to meet in person. And for this, we are thanking the Portuguese presidency for hosting in an excellent way, all of us. And this is due to the progress that were made in the vaccination campaigns and also the progress, the improving health situation here in Portugal, which is, of course, great news. A certain extent of optimism and pride, even, for decision taken in the last year was in our meeting. And indeed, as vaccination accelerates, restrictive measures are easing and economic activity is gathering pace. So after this technical recession that we had in the last quarter of 2020 and in the first quarter of this year, we are seeing very encouraging data, and we expect a rebound on the second half of this year. To recall, our spring forecast that I presented one week ago, more or less, are of an expansion of 4.3% this year and 4.4% next year in the euro area. And the euro area GDP is supposed to go back to the 2019 level in the first part of next year. Of course, this economic situation will remain a divergent one among sectors, among citizens, and among member states. I was referring to a certain pride of initiatives taken. Among these, let me stress the importance of the instrument that was decided to support short work schemes, the SURE mechanism. This mechanism have covered around 20% of EU employment, and around 30 million workers have been supported by this SURE mechanism in 19 countries. Of course, the employment situation is a challenge, and slack will remain in the labour market for some time. News are very encouraging. At the same time, we had a discussion based on a note prepared by DG ECFIN, also on the scarring aspect, so the risks of permanent damages that we are facing. And we identified mainly three risks: the capital channel due to the contraction of business investment during the pandemic, and we experienced this with the previous crisis, the labour channel, and especially the disruption to young people education and training that disproportionately affected people with disadvantaged background, and the technology channel through cutbacks in investment in intangible assets, R&D, despite the enormous investments for our digital and green transition. We must therefore be very careful not to pull back support for our workers and companies too quickly. This essential support, both automatic and discretionary, led, as you know, to an increase in the aggregate euro area deficit to 7.2% last year, and the projected 8% deficit this year, with the level of debt reaching in 2021 102%. As we have underlined before, it will be essential to manage very carefully the transition to more targeted support measures, and the Commission will provide its fiscal guidance for 2022 at the beginning of June, with this very much in mind, and with in mind the cooperation with Pascal and the Eurogroup to assess the recommendation for the euro area as a whole. Final point, of course, we cannot be satisfied with simply returning to the end of 2019 GDP level. It is not only a rebound we are looking for. We are looking for a stronger, stable and sustainable growth, and this is the real scope of the Recovery and the Resilience Facility. You know that we received 18 plans. The Commission is trying to work as fast as possible, and I use also this opportunity to invite the 5 member states that have not yet ratified this own resource decision to do it as soon as possible, so to make possible what we are aiming for, to have the first disbursement before the summer break. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam President.